Oh, there's this to the corner. What the fuck? Second place, and Goku's just falling down the order now as well as Hero gets up into P3. Pepper's gonna knock down the inside for the lead here in Indianapolis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the season finale, the Indy 500 here in the Pummu Indycar series. And I believe we are going to have quite a laggy and quite a long race on our hands. Outery starts on pole position, Art barely loses out, and joining me in the commentary box for the final time this year is War Sniper.
Hello there.
A very interesting qualifying, especially with the unique format that we used this time as well, involving the Fast 9 qualifying that happened today. That, as one would probably be able to guess, filled out our top 9 for this race. Outer was able to steal pole, followed by Art, and I have to reopen the results because I've accidentally closed them on my second monitor. And my Discord is taking 5 years to load. So Outery on pole position, Art just behind him, and just behind him is Trainwreck. We haven't seen much of him this season, but here he is. In P4 we have Lil Man, which is a very surprising performance from him. It's going to be interesting to see how he does this race. And behind him is, in P5, is Happy, followed by Olaf, and then Pepper. Pepper, you know, our championship contender this year. Definitely not the position I imagine he would have wanted to start this race. Followed by Skies in P8 and Pilot John in P9, with the slowest time of the Fast 9 by about 10 seconds after a pretty heavy shunt into the wall. Basically cancelled out one of his laps. Unfortunate to see. I did have a little bit of hope that he would have a decent qualifying, and I mean he's been in the Fast 9, but not exactly the best Fast 9 for him. We are waiting for this race to get underway as the drivers pace around. Definitely going to be a long race ahead of us. I wasn't able to attend qualifying yesterday, so if there's any key highlights that I might have missed, you can tell me about them now, or while we still have time. One more pace lap and then we go green.
Yeah, yesterday was full of controversy in qualifying. It was quite interesting to listen to the banter between the drivers and the stewards, or rather, race control. Had a bit of a mix-up halfway through. Similar qualifying times may have gotten shorter, may have. I don't know. It's quite an interesting spectacle. I don't know how else to describe it, quite frankly. Beyond that, it looks like we're about to be going green.
No, we go green.
Okay.
We go green next time by. It's going to be a 3-wide start. So they're going to line up 3 wide, I assume, towards the back stretch, and it will be 3 wide for every row as we see the drivers drive down the front stretch for what will be the final time under pre-race conditions. 200 laps here at the Indy 500 here in Indianapolis, of course. The longest race of the season, and makes sense. It is the season finale, go big or go home, as I would like to get an onboard camera of Outery. However, the spectate system has once again failed me in my time of need. So give me just 1 second. There we go. We go on board with Outery. who will be on pole and, of course, will control the start of this race. Pepper and Anna's not exactly where I think either of them would have really wanted to be. Anna's down in P16 for the start of this race, or in that area. Pepper in about P7 or 8, if I remember. No, it would be P6 or 7. Excuse me. I'm not exactly thinking straight. Some pretty colorful custom liveries here at the front of the pack, and also we just have Audrey's sort of default livery, or one of the few defaults. We will get on board on this camera here at the top of the tower as we await for what should be a really interesting start of the race. Restart zone has been marked as the pit barrier, or the beginning of it, and so I imagine we will be green flag here in a moment, and we are green here at the Indy 500, and for hopefully the first time we'll be using that restart zone. But restart zone is a restart zone. This is the Indy 500. I imagine if I look behind us, it's going to be pure chaos, and I'm not wrong.
We already have 2 spins. One has run into the wall. I am afraid I do not have this person's back, man.
There's a person way ahead of Kimmy, who's now in the lead, who's not trapped on my marker as well. I would love to know who that is. Just out of Kimmy. Kimmy has the lead by a decent amount. I think they are 4 wide for P2, and we go on board with Fanas, who's gone into the inside barrier contact between himself and Mietin. Just during the fast line qualifying, I did bring up the idea that there might be some sort of team strategy to try and hold up Fanas and find C from Mietin, so oh my goodness, a lot of contact on the front stretch there, excuse me. A lot of drivers cutting turn 1 as well. I feel absolutely terrible for race control, who has to deal with this. Neymar has been set on the wrong lap, so she is currently being marked about like 20 seconds ahead of everyone else. But Kimmy, our current race leader, and a decent gap behind him, but he has Nathan behind him, who has also had a really good restart, especially considering he hasn't even started in the top 9. Where has Nathan come from? My word. Finally, the laps get corrected, and the order should be correct in a few moments' time. Kimmy, with your leader, Littleman in P3, so Littleman, I think, is just about one of the few people who was able to keep their position at the start of this race. Neymar still was set on the wrong lap, so oh, and there we go, there we see the leaderboard just glitching out a little bit as race control tries and correct the error, and at this moment in time I do think it will be fixed. Nathan with a 2-second gap behind Kimmy now. Race control saying that they are going to be enforcing corner cuts now that the start has sort of dissipated. At the moment, Pepper is in P4 and Anos is in P15.
Putting a vehicle on track.
I don't think that's good.
Yeah.
I think race control might want to take a look at that.
Yeah, they're in trouble right now. Alright, that one.
I'm trying to get Neymar back on our little tracking screen here, if you know what I mean, but there she is. So Kimmy's starting to really run away with the lead now as we go into lap 5 of a 200 lap race, the longest of the season. Oh, and we go on board with Daniel just as he gets into the side of Anna's contact there that sends Anna's into the wall, and there are anti-wall ride measures on these walls, so Anna's would have lost a lot of time with that contact, and Daniel's been in the wall as well. as I drink some water because hydration is important. I have a long time of speaking ahead of me. Oh, and I have been told by race control that if any fans are on track to alert him immediately. However, I will probably miss them. So maybe my co-commentator War Sniper here could help with that.
Absolutely.
We'll go on board with Triff, who's currently battling for somewhere around just under P10. Yeah, it's Dilge hard into the wall. He's gonna spin into the infield. Oh no, what's happened to him? That's absolutely ruined his momentum, and he's still gonna have to get up to speed as well. So, just as I've started commentating on a battle, the battle has dissipated before it has really begun. Now we see Dilge falling down the order as well. All the way down to P18, one unfortunate turn of events there. We'll go on board with Useless, who is side by side with Pumpkin. They are up to P7, I believe, if the order on the left is correct, which has been a really good start for the both of them. I think they've both been into the wall. Pilot John is slow down the infield of turn 4. Must have been some sort of mistake from him or contact with the wall. Excuse me. And Pepper up into P3. You'll have to get up into P2 or win the Indy 500 for a chance to win the championship here. And that's just assuming that Onoz doesn't make a recovery drive as well. And we are under caution.
I don't interrupt. Daniel seemed to have hit the pit wall.
Oh, and Haybee's on his roof in between turns 3 and 4. So, the first caution of the day, as Haybee able to get back on his wheels and able to get back going. Though, it seems like he might be lucky enough to restart this race ahead of maybe Neymar. Oh, there's a bit of... Yeah, a bit of contact there. No, Haybee will not restart in front of Neymar. Timing board says he's a lap down, actually, so never mind. But Kimmy will be your leader as we go into our first caution of what I imagine will be many. And I absolutely hate that the spectate system isn't working. The pits are open this time. From what I remember, during practice sessions, they were saying that the tire wear around its track isn't that big. However, the fuel is a bit of a concern. And I think we're about to see a large majority of people go into the pits. As we see Nathan, one of the few that hasn't, he will be our new leader under this caution. Outery will be P2, Triff will be P3, and Neymar will be P4, at least for the moment. Or at least for the restart. And we wait to see how this race out the pit lane will shape up. However, it seems like Pepper will win it out the pit lane, and Kimmy just barely ahead of Useless. And I mean, they're 3 wide out the pit lane. That just tells you how aggressive these people are being to try and get a good position for the restart. Now, I imagine we're not going to go green this time by. Okay, I was about to ask that, but 2, I'm wondering if race control is going to have them restart single file, or if it's going to be double file. Anyway, what was that drama you were talking about, you were trying to tell me about before I interrupted you for the Happy wreck? I did miss it, what you said.
Yeah, so basically, some amendments need to be made to the track, and effectively, the drivers had found that, well, in their belief that this increased lap time based on being able to ride on the walls a little bit better and maintain a little bit of speed. Um, it was a bit of a debate between the, the creator of said track and drivers, but yeah, it was quite an interesting thing to listen to. Finzi, I can say for certain, was not pleased with the midway change
Yeah.
during qualifying.
Yeah, and this was all during qualifying, yeah, that's what I assumed. Race control telling Nathan to pick up the pace just a little bit so we can get back underway here in Indianapolis. And to the people watching at home, I hope you have some popcorn and are comfortable, because I believe this is about to be a very long recording and a very long race. I mean, we're 16 minutes into the recording. We've only done 11 laps, and like at least 3 or 5 minutes of that recording was the beginning of the race, or was the pace lap, so...
Yeah, okay then. Kyle and Hardman going off to the side, bumping into each other, and with contact. Turn 3.
So I believe we will be going green this time by. I imagine we will use the pit barrier. As a marker, and we have. And we are green this time by. I think DSA might have just kicked someone out the server and locked the server there, which is why we saw a random red car for a second. But so far Nathan leads. Outery taking to the grass and might be looking for the inside of Nathan. Into turn 1. Oh my goodness, my game freezes. But we continue useless far into the infield into turn 2. Oh wow, and he gets, oh my goodness, 2 warnings for a major corner cut there. Race control not kidding when he said he was going to heavily enforce corner cuts. Nathan still leads after that restart, was able to get a good restart then. Outery still in P2, and Triff up into P3 behind, just in front of Pepper. Oh, Trainwreck hard into the wall. Oh, and Trainwreck's backwards as well. Oh, he might get collected by... Oh, very close. I do believe that the wall he's collided with, drivers have complained that the wall doesn't actually have collisions. So we go on board with Pilot John for just a moment. See that he's made contact with Hardman. They've both gone into the wall. But other than... Oh, Namor spun as well on the backstretch. Oh, and he's backed up into the field! Big contact, multiple drivers involved. Hardman, and I believe there's another driver I don't have tracked. Oh man, and it's just chaos on the backstretch. It's gonna be a caution because multiple cars have been involved in the wreck, even though none of them have flipped. And I mean, Namor backed out basically directly in front of half of the field. And that was quite dangerous of him. Nathan still leads, and yes, Nathan still leads, and Pepper will be P2. And I mean, talk about convenient timing. I swap over to their onboard cameras just as it's happening. Oh man. Well, I mean, we went on board with Pilot John just as he made contact with Hardman. They both go into the wall, and then very shortly afterwards, Hardman gets collected by Neymar in realistically what would have been a quite horrific accident. No word from race control on that incident though, so we will stay under caution. The pits will be open this time by. I imagine everyone that didn't pit earlier will probably be pitting this time, and just in preparation for that, I will be going on board with Pepper. Or if you could do me a favor and find out who's basically at the back of the field, like the very last car behind Hardman. I need to get him on the clone. Of course, it's clone.
It's also quite unfortunate that our one-time podium, or sorry, Outery. And it's quite unfortunate that Outery is of the race.
Yeah. So, Nathan in the pits, Trainwreck's in the pit, Neymar, Clone, and Hardman in the pits as well. Pepper will be our new leader, which is a good thing for the championship battle. What isn't a good thing is that Onoz will be restarting this race effectively in P6. I imagine that's not exactly where Pepper would have hoped he would be. Onoz isn't gonna make Onoz is not gonna make it easy for Pepper to win this championship, and I mean it was never really easy for Pepper to win this championship. We're gonna be going green this time by. DSA asking if it should be 150 laps or not, and we see Trainwreck for some reason just suddenly swerve into the grass there in the midfield. Unsure if that was provoked by contact or not. I almost said provoked by caution. Definitely not that. Pepper leads on this restart, followed by Kimmy and Triff. And just behind those two, we have Onoz. Pepper will be looking in his mirror, seeing Onoz probably in the distance, and really hoping that this restart goes well for him. We are green once again for the third time in Indianapolis, and I think they're almost 4 wide. Well, they were 4 wide until Kimmy made contact with Olaf. I think there's a bit of chaos in the midfield off of that restart. There's a couple people taking to the infield as they go almost 4 wide for P3. Pepper has had a really good restart, so has Pumpkin. And we'll go on board with our current championship leader, Onoz, who is, I mean, basically in a battle of space. Kimmy and Littleman go far into the grass, so does Daniel. Oh, and that's going to be Kimmy spinning around in the infield. He's going to come back onto track, and he might have collected someone. I couldn't see if he did. But Onoz not having the restart he would have wanted now, especially a bunch of contact. Pilot John, big contact, he's slow. And Neymar in Triff down the pit lane. Neymar, I think, got pushed into the pit lane. At least I don't think he intentionally wanted to pit. And Onoz from P6 to P18. An absolutely horrid restart.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact back there between Olaf and Kimmy.
Olaf, okay. Laps have been reduced by race control due to time constraints to 150 laps. Still a long way to go to the end. Oh, and Onoz's into a waffling as well. He's gonna collect Mietin, and I mean it's just going worse and worse for him.
You know that theoretical about Pepper getting the championship here, we might not be looking at theoretical anymore.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go to the end.
Absolutely.
I mean... Oh, Clone is slow. Clone's slow in turn 1. Don't know what happened. He might have to get out the way of the cars behind him. Or actually, Cyber will just cut turn 2 a little bit to get past him. Pepper leads by a quite large margin now. Mutant is slow down the back stretch. So not... Oh, Manta's stopped in turn 2. But he's able to keep it going. There's...
I apologize to interrupt. PSA. I have mentioned it before. You might want to look at Train Drag.
Well, what has happened with Train... Well, now I have to go on board with him.
Our two-time champion here has unfortunately taken the inside line a few too many times already.
Oh, right on board with him and see if I can catch evidence of it. I would love to see what this racing line of his is. Doesn't seem to be interested in taking it this time.
Yes. I would not blame him for not taking it now.
Oh, he's gonna...
narrow.
Oh, man. Oh, my game keeps freezing. And I think we are already getting lap traffic in front of Pepper as well. He's passing Manta right now, and he has Olaf ahead of him. He's already passed Triff, but so has half of the pack behind him as well. I mean, Pepper has had unreal pace. I mean, just after that restart alone, he's gained 4 seconds off of Pumpkin and the next car behind him. These cars really starting to spread out now. Anna's up into P12. I mean, that's not the only championship battle happening on track right now either. I do believe Findsy and Nathan are in quite a tight, quite a bit. Oh, Pepper's made contact with Olaf. Olaf went very defensive. I think pushed him into the pit barrier. It slowed him down quite a bit. So that's definitely going to close up the gap quite a lot. And 4 seconds turns into 2-second gap across the line. And going on the backstretch, I think it's turned into really less than a second. And I mean, I believe it was contact with Olaf that caused Pepper to slow down. I don't really know. However, now, whatever has happened, Pepper and Pumpkin are now very close to each other, and we might be seeing a battle for the lead. But speaking of battles, Pepper and Anna, it's battling for the championship. It's not the only championship battle on track. I do believe there's quite a pretty close battle between Findsy and Nathan.
Oh, we have Dilge being collected by Useless at the... Oh dear. He's slowly making his way back on the track.
Try to go on board with one of the two people we were talking about. However, the spectate system is... Okay, train just took the pit exit, like access road in turn 1. That was a racing line. Oh, and I think he realizes I'm on board with him because he's swerving around. I'm gonna go and switch to a different driver. Oh, and Kimmy's in the pits now. Oh, and Pepper gets a warning. Not what you would want. Whatever, something that's happened while I was on board with Trainwreck that has put Pumpkin way down the order, actually, down into P3. About 3 to 5 seconds away from Pepper now. He was less than a second earlier. Now Findsy's starting to close up on Pepper quite a bit. During practice, I asked Findsy if Meaton was going to be a problem for himself and Anna's at the start of the race. Mentioned the idea of some sort of shenanigans, but now we see Findsy, Anna's his teammate, catching up with Pepper as they head to the backstretch. Dilge just ahead of him. Honestly, also Dilge, I think, is also a part of Findsy International, so we might have to see this. And I think Findsy does have the draft of Pepper down the backstretch, so he is starting to catch quite a bit. Maybe the tires are starting to wear out.
Oh no. Daniel is the wall in turn 1, and... Yep, okay. He's back on track. So.
We see Daniel slowly moving with the track command there. Meaton's gonna get past him at the least. I mean, momentum is important around this track. It's all about corner exits, really. Which is why you'll see a lot of people corner cutting just so they can have a better corner exit. But really, oh sorry, the key skills around here I think is your ability to keep your speed up throughout the race. Definitely don't want to lose speed. You lose speed, you lose time. We were originally supposed to start this race with 25. We've started it with 23, I believe. However, I think we've lost one, either that or we started with 22. I have lost count.
I believe we started.
Trainwreck is stopped on the side of the track. What has happened to Trainwreck? He was basically on the road course. I think he might have gone off course a little too much. Pepper cuts turn 2 and the cars ahead of him are battling each other. They made contact. Pepper takes to the access road to get past the both of them, which I can't exactly blame him. It's not exactly a legal move, but it's definitely a safe move considering they just made contact. Now he catches up with Mietin and Clone. I mean, he practiced. I don't know if contact was made, but he might have just forced Mietin out of the way. Race control is telling Trainwreck to turn his car around, which concerns me slightly.
I actually had forgotten this. I am shocked I have. Yesterday, another bit of controversy within qualifying was Trainwreck not exactly taking the proper direction of the course.
Oh?
He after his first attempt at qualifying, he had basically swung it around and just went reverse of the course.
Oh.
And that was... Again,
yeah.
that was kind of midway through the...
Yeah, there has been quite a bit of a glitch. We did see it during Fastline qualifying, though to be fair, what we saw was some random fan in a car on the grass to the right of Pepper here, actually down the backstretch. We have seen that there's a bit of a oversight with these cars, where these cars are just faster in a straight line in reverse, but they're very loose in reverse as well. So that might explain what Trainwreck was trying to accomplish there. More and more of the field is starting to go a lap down here as we get to lap 30 here in Indianapolis. Now we saw, just for a frame, a wild what has happened to Neymar? Is Neymar retired? Is that why Neymar's car is stopped on the track, actually. What has happened to Neymar? Someone has... Aww, War!
Oh,
War!
I apologize.
War has just caused a caution. So are we...
I do apologize.
Alright, so I think we banned War from the game now. War. Aww. So I was wondering why we saw Neymar flying in the air for a second, and War has unintentionally done the fly command on Neymar as well as himself. And Olaf has just Olaf has just pit maneuvered Pepper, and Littleman has just pit maneuvered Findsy. Neymar has been hit by a wall fling. He rear ends Dilge. It is chaos under the restart, under caution. And I wonder if we are about to see a number of drivers into the pits here. We'll wait and see, however, it doesn't look like it so far. Will anyone pit? I think everyone's just gonna... I don't even... Oh, Clone has... Or has... What in the world? Clone is in the infield. He's just Harry Pottered himself through a wall. I have accidentally turned off spectate. And I need to go back on board with Pepper. I forgot that the caution just came out, so the pits aren't open. Excuse me. I imagine we're gonna have quite a long caution here. Not because of debris or anything, but we do have multiple cars who need to unlap themselves as well. Though currently that's sort of what they seem to be doing at the moment. Surprisingly, one of the cars that's a lap down is Mietin, or at least he's way ahead. Pepper, I don't know if he was just typing or something, but he has just... Pepper typing a message to race control unintentionally while rides because of it. So Pepper will lead. Finds you have P2. Pumpkin will still be in P3. And I mean, Pepper is just about where he would want to be if he wants a chance at winning the championship. However, Anaz is also in a good position to win the championship as well, up into P9 as of the last timing board. I believe all lapped cars have unlapped themselves. The pits are open this time by. So we'll go on board with the tower camera. Go on board, okay. We'll go on to the tower camera as my game freezes for a moment. We'll see what chaos happens as majority of the field pits. Neymar doesn't pit. Daniel doesn't pit. Clone, Meaton, Olaf, and Kimmy don't pit. Everyone else in the pack have. So Neymar, not a name we've talked about really not a name we haven't talked about in the front half of the field since I think Atlanta last year. God, please help me forget that race ever happened. Neymar last win that she had was in Atlanta, actually. Very chaotic race. I hope we never get a race like that again. I was lucky enough that I wasn't the one having to record any of that, though. Times have changed. And so, we get ready to see this restart with Neymar and Clone. Neymar being told to slow down just a little bit. I'm unsure as to why. Daniel is... Well, actually, no, I see why. Daniel must have had a really bad pit stop or something. He is way behind the rest of the pack. Pepper seems to be restarting this race in about P6 or 7 in line. And I do believe we will be going green this time by, I think. I don't know why someone's saying Neymar respawned their car. I don't know. They're saying something about respawning. And I haven't seen anyone respawn their car, so... Neymar controls as we get ready to go green for, I believe, the 3rd time here in Indianapolis. And Neymar has really started to run away with the lead as well. She's really timed her restart well. However, we'll go on. Oh, multiple cars up into the wall. Olaf takes to the infield. Meaton up into P5 now. Or P5, what P3? And just behind him.
Oh. And useless isn't, or sorry, not useless. Hardman hard into the wall.
Lumen with a warning. I'll tell you what, there's a couple of things that Pepper would not want to see this race weekend. One of them was him going into the wall during qualifying. And second is Anaz being only 2 cars behind him. Anaz was almost directly behind him for a moment. But I think a bit of contact has caused that. Meaton's up into the wall. So Pepper will go up into P2. I believe Triff, Happy, and Kimmy have made contact going into turn 2, so they're falling way behind in the pack. And so Clone will hold on to P2. Clone would hold on to P2. I need to correct myself. Pepper got up into P3 because of Meaton's contact into the wall. I'm unsure if I said that correctly. I just want to make sure that that's correct.
Which is off track. Four. Okay. And he's come back on track. Okay, we're good.
Okay. So they would stop for a moment, maybe a bit of a wall fling as well. Awesome. Go on board with Pepper, who just visibly looks like he's catching up to Clone. and Clone's wide in turn 3. I mean, Clone might have just let him by, honestly. I would too if I knew what he was going through. Clone lets Pepper by. Either that or just goes really wide and Pepper will be up into P2. And Clone will be facing pressure from, I believe, Art behind. And I've only now noticed, looking at the current order of how this race is going, I've only now noticed that our pole sitter Outery has possibly retired. Maybe. I haven't seen him on the leaderboard in a hot minute. But for now, we'll stay on board with Pepper, who I think probably absolutely needs to just start catching up to Neymar. Triff is going slow into turn 1. He'll already start having to worry about blue flags and going a lap down again. And Neymar, very weird turn 1. I think she's been into a wall fling because now Pepper is right on her tail, and Pepper might even have a better run out of turn 2. Oh, the speed difference is wild. Neymar goes very defensive very late. I think some contact was made. Pepper has to swerve in avoidance, but he will get to overtake done. Pepper will lead, going on to lap 39 here out of turn 4. And not only that, Pepper will now be looking to overtake Triff as well, to put him a lap down. And Pepper. Oh, Pepper hard into the wall. He turned way too early, took to the access road, realized that he was corner cutting, didn't want to get in trouble for it, slammed on the brake pedal to give up the advantage, but that just caused him to lock up going to the wall, and now that's put Neymar right back on his tail. Going down the backstretch, race control telling Triff that he is battling with the leaders, and that it would be, a little preferable that he didn't battle them too hardly, or too hardly, okay, my brain. And now Art has caught right up to Neymar as Pepper begins to form a bit of a gap in the lead here. Oh, and Olaf is in the pits. So already people doing green flag pit stops again. Oh, and we go on board with Hardman, who's made contact with Kimmy. They both go into the wall, but they've both managed to keep it going, but now they're battling quite hard. Oh, and now I think Kimmy's made contact with Meaton, and he's collected Hardman again. So things spicing up for this battle towards the back of middle of the field, excuse me. Trying to find the right onboard camera, it's a little hard when the spectate system doesn't exactly work. I want to go on board with Art if I can find him. Oh, massive battle between Hardman now. He's been able to form a bit of a gap with Kimmy, but now he's battling Feinstein. They're both going to go into the wall. Just a little bit lose their momentum. Meaton and Kimmy are going to catch right back up. Just ahead of them, I think Daniel and Littleman are battling, which is not something I think I would have thought I would be watching.
Have some contact towards the midfield between Pumpkin and Abby. 7th and 8th position. Quite a battle to be watching. Pumpkin seems like he's going to be getting P7. And he has gone through yet. He's getting P7.
We're able to go on board with Abby to catch on to the tail end of this battle, or well, basically the end of this battle. Arnold's, I believe, is up into P6. Abby is down the inside of Pumpkin. And he might have been able to get past him, I think, through turns 3 and 4. I think he did. Yes, he did. So, a good move there. A pretty back and forth battle going on there, excuse me. As I let out a monster. Oh, what has happened to Pepper? Oh, we go off board with Pepper for a few moments, and He must have made contact with the wall or something, because now he is directly battling Art and Neymar. And I think both Pepper and Art have been into the wall. And so Neymar will hold on to the lead, but she is into the wall. And now Pepper will steal the lead back. And for a moment, I thought Pepper was under real trouble. However, he's been able to handle it quite well and recover the position, albeit through the grass in turn 4 on his own. But Pepper doing just about everything he can to keep that championship hope alive. Though I imagine as the laps start to go lap by lap, I imagine that hope might be starting to fade away just a little bit. I'm trying to figure out my words as I'm speaking. I'm not very good at that. Pepper had Neymar and Art basically right on his tail down the front stretch down one of the stretches a few moments ago. Now he has a 2.5 second gap. We'll go on board with Habby, and Habby actually makes contact with Pilot John, loses his momentum as they go into turn 1. He takes to the grass, and that might have been a really good move, because I think Little Man's been in the wall. Almost collected Pilot John. Now Habby's gonna force Pilot John into the wall, and they're both gonna go in the wall, but Habby's gonna really suffer for that one. Was a good overtake for a moment, but unfortunately goes a little too wide and hits the wall at the wrong angle. Kills his momentum. It was easier to commentate during qualifying than it is to commentate during this, mate. Hardman now has Pepper behind him, so we might be seeing more cars go a lap down. And Pepper has had amazing pace this entire weekend. Wasn't able to perform as well as I imagine he would have wanted during qualifying or during the Fast 9. But just disregarding that happened, he's basically been fastest in every session, every practice session. Even during standard qualifying before Fast 9, just wasn't able to put it together during the Fast 9 somehow, for some reason. But he's making up for it now, in the lead by at least 2.5 seconds, though that gap might start decreasing.
Yeah, Pilot John going slowly in turn 2, causing Truck to run into the back of him. Like they were able to gain back their speed though, a little bit on the back straps.
And that's good to hear. Neymar managed to decrease that gap by a second on that last lap, and I'm wondering if Pepper slowed down just a bit to try and be able to get past Hardman safely. Don't know what happened, but Neymar gained an entire second on that last lap that Pepper was behind Hardman. However, now Pepper has basically regained that second on Neymar, so I would have to imagine that just getting past Hardman was a little bit time-consuming. Now, this is a part of the race that's going to be a little bit interesting to see how it goes for Pepper. He's obviously had to lap multiple cars by now, at least 3 or 4. But now he has a pretty decent pack out of him. He has Kimi ahead of him now. Surprised I didn't see Kimi this far down the order. And there we see the cars just sort of popping all around on my screen, because of course it does. Somehow the timing system says that Kimi is... Actually, what has happened to Neymar? Neymar falling down the order quite a bit. In fact, Neymar's down to P4 and 11 seconds behind Pepper. Now Art's the one 2.5 seconds behind Pepper. Something bad happened to Neymar. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. Oh, and I think Pepper and Kimmy have just made contact and it sent Kimmy right into the wall. And now Pepper's catching up to Meaton and Triff, who are both seemingly battling. Though Meaton, Pepper's teammate's probably just gonna lift a little bit down the front stretch to let him by. And I think Triff, not looking forward to battling Pepper, lets him by as well. And I mean, this has certainly been the most lap traffic I've seen in a race, unless... Well, I say that and I have a feeling that a race at Long Beach might have had more, and Pepper onto the Access Road in turn 3 might need to be a little bit more careful. Has a pretty comfortable 2-second lead in front of Art. He doesn't need to start getting penalized now, especially not with his championship hopes basically relying on a good result here. But as I mentioned earlier, Pepper's not the only one with championship hopes here, or in a championship battle, I should say. Findsy and Nathan in a pretty tight battle for P3 in the championship. In fact, if we go on board with Nathan once I find him, we'll see that he's behind Olaf, starting to get past lap traffic as well. But if we look behind him, we'll see that Anaz is behind him. Anaz up into P6 at the moment. A very good... Oh, Nathan hard into the side of Olaf. That's going to send him into the infield. And that is really going to hurt his run down the front stretch. That's going to allow Anaz to catch right back up to him, I imagine. Oh, and I don't even think Nathan's going to be able to do anything to fight back. Anaz will take P5 at the moment. Oh man, that's just unfortunate contact for Nathan. He's having a championship battle. Naturally, I think Anaz into the outside wall on the exit of turn 2. He is. That's going to allow Nathan and Littleman to get past him now. So just as I start talking about Nathan having a bit of unfortunate contact, Anaz decides he wants to have some as well. I mean, I'm sure the sponsors on the car aren't complaining about any of the screen time that contact got him. Clone into the pits now, and Nathan down the inside of Olaf, looking to get past him this time around. And there might have been a bit of contact in the middle of the corner, and Nathan might have just forced his way past Olaf, but he no longer has to worry about the lap traffic. At least in terms of Olaf. Actually, Nathan does have a really decently sized gap to really everyone. I mean, just about everyone is starting to space out now. Clone one of the few people that I've seen in the pits before a green flag pit stop that wasn't a lap down or more. Though I imagine after that pit stop that might change. And actually Clone is stopped at the end of the pit road now. Clone may be dealing with an issue or something. Oh, Dilge! Big flip! Oh, he's going to be able to keep it going, though. He's on the back of Kimmy. Dilge almost flipped over in between turn 1 and 2, between contact with Kimmy. He's barely able to keep it going, but that was almost a massive wreck. I mean, I'm surprised they're able to keep it going, and DSA will call, race control will call a caution for it. Oh, man. And, I mean, Pepper's massive gap basically reduced to nothing now. Pepper across the line as we go under yellow for I think the third time today. I mean, what has my luck been in like the past few races? I've just managed to been on board with the right people at the right time to witness some crazy accidents. And I think Neymar and Art haven't realized that Pepper is pacing on the backstretch, as there goes Neymar directly into the back of Pepper. But Pepper will lead, followed by Art and then Neymar. And I mean, seriously, what has been my luck recently? I can't be the only one who's noticed this. I've just happened to go on board with the right people at the right time to get the chaotic action. Lap cars may now unlap themselves, so we're probably about to see almost half the pack is under a lap down now. The pits are not going to be open this time by, with cars unlapping them. I don't know. Well, the pits, I don't think the pits will be open. So excuse me, I was wrong. Not the first time. And we'll once again go on to the tower cam to see who does and doesn't pit. And so far, Pilot John is the only one who is in a lap down that does pit. We see that Clone is now backwards in the pit lane. Unsure how that happened, but he's been sat there for quite some time. It's going to be interesting to see if that is another retirement, or if he's just taking a little break from driving. Oh, and Anas has managed to jump Pepper in the pit lane. I think Neymar might have been able to jump on us as well, so Neymar will lead. But Anas was able to just barely jump Pepper in the pit lane, and Anas will restart in P2 or P3. Excuse me. I forget that John didn't pit. Excuse me. John will be our leader. Neymar will be P2, and Anas will restart this race in P3 and crucially ahead of Pepper. I mean, at Road America, I talked about things going from, oh my god, there is a massive just cluster into the wall, and I think they're still wrecking. So this might take a second for them to sort out. The top three have almost sorted themselves out. Neymar needs to go up and reclaim P2 from Anas. And there's a lot of chaos, and lap cars have not caught up with them yet. So I don't think we'll be green. Are we green this time by? I didn't see a word saying we're not. And we are not. We're not going green, which is a good decision, because I don't think anyone is in the correct position right now. I think a couple drivers were 2 laps down, so I think the people who were 2 laps down still trying to unlap themselves. And this is crucial for that championship battle between Pepper and Anas. Anas directly ahead of Pepper. Hardman goes past the pack to unlap himself as well. So Triff and Hardman, I think Triff will barely catch up with the pack, if not be a little bit behind by the time the restart happens. However, I don't think Hardman has enough time to catch back up with the pack, as we are going to go green this time by. And I mean, I was not wrong. This race has been chaotic, and we've had a different leader for every restart now. Or basically every start, we've had a different leader. Last one was Neymar, now we have Pilot John. And I mean, Neymar's had a pretty decent race. I can't really say. Yeah. Excuse me. I did catch that just in the corner of my eye, a bit of contact between Nathan and Daniel. Pilot John will control the pace as we get ready to go green. I mean, Anas is practically ahead of Neymar already. They're almost already 4 wide for P2. Oh, and Neymar sideways down the backstretch. There's going to be contact. Little man into the side as well.
Yeah.
John leads, Nathan on us, then Useless take to the Access Road. That surely might be a corner cut for all three of them. Nathan and Anna still on the Access Road. And now there's contact between Nathan, Anos, and John, but Pilot John will not have to lead. Nathan's gonna have to lead. Actually, he's just barely gonna hold the lead into turn 3. And Anos has had a... Where has Pepper gone, actually? Pepper's far down the order. I think he's slow because of that contact with Namor at the start, and that is not what you want. Oh! Who's gone? Oh, Art spins!
It's Art. Yeah.
Art spins. So not to restart Art would have wanted either, and especially not to restart Pepper needs for this championship battle. Nathan leads, followed by Pilot John, and Anos is going to shoot into the inside barrier. That might help Pepper catch back up to him. Maybe. He shot back up into Kimmy a little bit, so I think they made contact.
Useless hitting out at turn 2.
And once again, Chaos at a restart.
I'm sorry, that's not Useless, Hardman.
Hardman is going backwards on the track, and I don't think Race Control will be a fan of that. Again, we talked about it. We did talk about the fact that the reverse gear is just a bit faster. Dilge into the wall, that's going to allow Onods ahead of him. Onods, because of that contact into the wall, is now behind Pepper. Pepper is up into P7. Oh, and Olaf is sideways on the front stretch. Hardman is still going in reverse down the track, and for some reason DSA isn't saying anything. Cough, cough. We'll try and go on board with Useless here. Who now has Mutant down his inside. Or, well, he did have Mutant, now he has Little Man. Little Man shoots up the track and into his side. And now I think Useless and Pepper make contact. They're both going to go slow.
At this point, Hardman causing a little bit of damage between Dilge's race.
Yeah. DSA apparently didn't see what's happening. Hardman is going in reverse around the track. As you might be able to guess why. Or he was. I don't know if he is anymore. Oh, and Hardman gets a drive-through penalty for driving in reverse. And Useless swerves into the side of Pepper there on the backstretch. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe a bit of input lag. Actually, Useless is going quite slow as well because of that content. Hardman's still driving in reverse. I don't...
Might be our first black flag of...
I mean, I don't know. I've seen some disqualifications before. Hardman is... I mean, not in this season, I don't think, but, actually, I don't think I've ever seen a live disqualification. I've always seen just driver suspensions. I am so wanting someone to do the fling command on Hardman, so he just goes spinning out of control. But I would not recommend that, as there's a bit of a pack behind him. Or in front of him. Would it be in front or behind him? He is driving in reverse. So
that is a fair point.
Interested to see what that would count as.
Let the philosophers of our viewers decide on that.
Sean will hold on to P2, but he has Daniel not far behind him. Oh, and finds he's into the wall. Oh, and he's gonna get collected by Triff. Though admittedly being collected might have helped him actually recover, though I'm sure Triff is not a big fan of having to go through that. Little Man goes through the Assets Road.
Oh. What? I'm curious as to what those tags are.
I'm trying to...
Oh,
and Hardman has been disqualified from the session. So there you go. Little Man takes to the Assets Road. Oh, what in the world has happened there? I think...
Dear, oh dear.
There's a pair of tires on the track, actually, and Happy has collected them, actually. Oh, and we're gonna go under caution. Big wreck in between turns 1 and 2. Multiple cars involved. There's a pair of tires stopped on the track. I believe that's probably from Hardman getting disqualified. His car got despawned, but the tires did not. I was wondering we went on board with Lone Man, and he collected something. Oh, we're gonna have to go on board with Pepper here to see who restarts where. They're almost 3 wide, but I think Neymar has gone ahead of Pepper, I believe. Oh, and Pepper's just wrecked into DSA, who is standing on the side of the track.
That is unfortunate.
So Nathan leads, actually. I'm unsure what happened to John, but Nathan will lead on the restart, and all of them will get rear-ended and go a little too fast. I don't know if they're even pacing. There we go. Now, they've been told to pace now. Daniel will hold on to P2, John will have P3 for the restart, and Nathan, our leader. Race control also are they even going pace speed? I don't know. I don't believe the pits are open yet, so the pits are closed. Oh, Neymar's about to go full speed into the back of Little Man. Okay, there we go. Oh, Little Man's been collected by Mitten under the caution, and I have time to drink my water. Or do I, as once again Little Man and Mitten get into it again.
Speaking of getting into it, seems like Kimmy might be getting on, apologies. Kimmy's getting on, I believe, Dilge's nerves, yeah.
So, pits will be open this time. Neymar in race control asking Neymar why she's trying to make it 3 wide again. I would like a confirmation now if the pits are open or not, because I do really need to use the restroom, and I will be exiting the commentator's booth under green or not, so I would like if the pits were open. Okay, so the pits are open.
How convenient.
That is very convenient. And we will just go on to the tower cam and wait for the chaos at the beginning of the pit road as I go and use the restroom very quickly and leave you with my co-commentator. Good luck, War. Have fun.
Thank you. So towards the back of the pack, we have Doge running in to Pepper, I believe, or vice versa, causing Truff to lightly fall back a little bit more, and Buddy is catching back up. The rest of the pack. Beyond that, we have Nathan, Daniel, Meaton, Anna, Pepper, Lil Man, Abby, Truff,
And I believe John pitting while the rest are staying out. So that leaves us with Neymar taking the lead, Useless falling behind, Finechie after him, Olaf beyond Finechie, Kimmy after that, and Doge after Kimmy.
oh,
I have returned.
oh, there.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're right.
I just wanted to do the order of which people were going in pits and the lights.
Alrighty then.
Who we have at the front now?
We have Neymar. We
do have Neymar.
We have Neymar at the front, followed by Useless. Finds the Olaf and Kimmy. That will be your top 5 for this restart. We get ready to go green. Once again, this race so far has brought many first times for a couple of things. One first time a caution has been caused by a commentator. Second time, first time a caution was caused for a tire. And a third first time a commentator has had to use the restroom in the middle of recording. But when nature calls, we get ready to go green this time here in Indianapolis. And everyone's getting away quite early, but I think that it's quite reasonable And we're somehow down to 16 cars now, I think. Which is absolutely crazy that we've lost that many drivers so far, but we knew this was basically going to be an endurance race of sorts. We see Daniel into the infield in between turn 1 and 2, and I think he's collected a few members of the field as well. Neymar still leads.
With him.
Yeah, I don't know what caused him to go into the infield, but he did come up, and I did see a few cars go into the outside wall with him. So, maybe there was contact.
Oh, we have Pepper being pit maneuvered by Half in turn 3.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Pepper's still going, no? So, must have been a pretty bad pit maneuver. Oh my god, Kimmy almost crashed into the pit wall. Kimmy has almost hit the attenuator.
I got a bad feeling about turn 2 here.
I do as well, actually, and I think Findsy has as well, because he's backed off. Oh my goodness, having Pepper contact, and Pepper's gonna shoot back up the track, make contact with Anaz.
Oh dear, and Findsy sent into the wall.
Pilot John and Findsy into the infield after a bit of contact between them as well. You can tell I'm starting to get tired because the energy in my commentary is going. Oh, and there's contact between Pilot John and Triff. Sends Triff into the side of Pepper. They both go into the infield wall. Anaz is starting to run away from the rest of this pack here. This backfield pack, actually. What has happened to Art? Art is super far behind. Art must have had a bit of contact during the restart as well.
Oh, that was big. Oh dear.
Oh,
And Trev.
Oh, my game freeze immediately afterwards. It was not as big of a wreck as I thought it was going to be, but Dilge was stopped basically on the racing line, but conveniently was able to be basically pushed out the way, though Trev once again involved in an incident that has basically benefited everyone but himself.
At least Art might have someone to race at this point.
And, I mean, we've focused on the midfield battle, but I mean, let's talk about the fact that Neymar basically has a 3-second gap to P2. Her last win was in Atlanta last year. Can she win the Indy 500? I mean, I think if my memory serves me correct, her last win was at Atlanta. You could go and check for me, if you wouldn't mind. I would like to be not yelling incorrect. I would like to be correct on this.
Absolutely, I can double check for you.
So, we started this race with... We were going to start this race with 25. We started it with 23. And now we're down to 16 drivers on track. Technically 17, but I don't think I can count Clone as a driver on track considering he's just sitting on the side. Anaz is in P4, Pepper is in P6. Not the championship battle, and I'm not the championship implications that I'm sure Pepper would have enjoyed.
So it would seem that you are right about Neymar. Last win being in Atlanta. Came in P3 at Gateway last year, as well as Pocono. Or Pocono, sorry.
Pocono.
Pocono.
Pocono. What a weird way to pronounce that.
And that is my official way of saying it from this point on.
Understandable. Well, I am noticing that Useless is starting to catch up to Neymar a bit as well, so maybe Neymar just not the pace she would want to have if she wants to hold on to the lead. Useless might just be a little bit faster.
Little man off to the side in turn 3, and that causes Daniel to hit the wall hard in turn 3. Oh dear. That is unfortunate. Daniel not seeming pleased with it, although I don't know if he can really say
Neymar
anything.
into the wall. Neymar into the wall, that's going to put Useless with a really good chance of getting into the lead. Neymar goes very defensive, swerving back and forth. They make contact, Useless and Neymar into the wall. I mean, what in the... That was... I don't even think that can be considered defense. That was just Neymar telling Useless that he cannot overtake her. Pepper's into the pits.
Pepper in the pit?
So Pepper, maybe not getting the performance he would like out of the tires, he will go a lap down because of the pit stop and hopefully not get rear-ended by Neymar, who took a bit of an interpretation of the racing line there. Neymar will rejoin just behind these two. Neymar will rejoin in what I think he would have wished would be third place, but unfortunately he is now a lap down because of the pit stop. Useless starting to gain on Neymar once again, and here we go down the front stretch. Useless has a better run. Will Neymar make it a little bit easier to overtake her? Not this time. In fact, I think Useless might have done a jank form of bump drafting. And I mean, I'm sure Pepper would have loved to have been able to stay with this lead pack and maybe get the draft off of them, but unfortunately just not able to get up to speed in time for it to happen. Neymar will still hold on to the lead. Useless will hold on to P2. These two battling a little bit aggressively for the lead, and I mean, we've only just passed halfway, haven't we?
Yeah,
Lap
I think so.
79.
And we have poor pilot John being sent off to the side of the backstretch, though he is regaining back on the track.
Good to hear then. More the battle for the lead seems to calm down just a little bit. We'll go on board with Dilge, who I don't think is very pleased that I have managed to call him Dilge in this entire race, or this entire season really. But unfortunately it is too late for me to change my way, and I am too used to calling him Dilge, and I think he might have heard me calling him Dilge because he's hit the wall and let Daniel right past him. It's gonna be interesting to see if anyone else pits, or if Pepper's pit stop was a precautionary one, or an attempt at an undercut on the cars ahead. I wasn't here. Oh, actually, Neymar slowed down and slow into turn 3. I wasn't here during that last caution, so I wasn't able to see if Pepper was into the pits that time or not.
I wish I could recall if he was part of the group. There's quite a large group, unfortunately.
I mean, that's fine. I don't mind.
Our viewers certainly know I had read them all out, so
yeah, hopefully.
At least they probably have that information.
I mean, you want to talk about... I mean, I wanted to talk about Useless catching up to Neymar, but earlier I said that Pepper would have loved to been able to keep up with this lead pack, maybe get the draft off of them. He's close enough now that he can, so maybe these fresh tires on Pepper's car helping him along the way, or that is just the pure pace advantage that Pepper has, because he has been...
Car that I don't know who it is. Going on the track now, outside of the pits. Who is... Oh... hitting... Oh, man.
Oh, I thought you were saying...
No. So who is this? I know. Okay, it's Clone.
Oh, Clone is back? Oh. Well then, welcome back, Clone, who was in the pit lane for 20 minutes, give or take. I mean, he was in it long. Oh my god! I think both Neymar and Useless have been into the same wall fling, because they're both very slow. And now Pepper's coming up to try and unlap himself. There is a car driving in the stands, which is actually, I think, a pretty normal thing around this league, actually. The leaderboard on the left doesn't know what to think of Clone being back, I don't think. And Pepper now past Useless, and because of that battle between the two, Neymar is starting to run away with a decent gap now as well. And now actually Useless looking to overtake Pepper. Re-overtake Pepper, that is. After he forces his way a little bit down the inside and back ahead of
I have
Pepper.
to admit,
I was about to say up into P2. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you happen to say at one point in your commentary as relate, womp womp?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't think I have. Kimmy gets the warning.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Disregard my comment there.
No, actually, both Neymar and Useless have dropped Pepper a bit. So I imagine that won't last long, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is absolutely not the race you would have wanted if you are Pepper. Not the highest hopes in the championship, I imagine, but I mean, there was still some hope, and now you're a lap down because of a pit stop. But I mean, hey, we disregarded his strategy last race where he undercut everyone, but that undercut ended up being a really good strategy call. But that was at a road course where tire wear matters.
Blown into the back alone, man, on the back struts.
Of
Sending
course.
them both into the wall.
Of course, as you do.
That'll make Triff have to avoid Clone.
I'm going into... Oh, Useless taking the Assets Road in turn 4. Both Lumen and Clone side by side. Just ahead of the leaders now. Neymar slows down to try not to get involved too much with this battle. But that has put Useless right on her tail. And now they're overtake Littleman. They're looking to overtake Clone. When I think Neymar has been into walls, she has. She goes very wide into the wall and then very low into the infield, but will retain the lead of this race. However, I am beginning to wonder if Pepper made that pit stop was... I did begin this sentence earlier, but with Pepper pitting, was that more of a precautionary pit stop, or was that a attempt at maybe a bit of an undercut? I wonder. It's going to be interesting to see, because now there's basically a massive battle happening right behind Useless, and all of the cars involved are a lap down, or more. I'm unable to see what position Clone is in, because at the moment, Clone is showing up as, who would be Hardman, and we know Hardman isn't in the race anymore. Neymar getting past Olaf, now taking to the Assets Road. Oh, Olaf! Oh, Neymar flips! What in the world happened there? Neymar just suddenly flipped over, took the Assets Road. I mean, I know that's supposed to be a corner cut, but what in the world has happened there? She just suddenly flipped, and Olaf... I don't know what just happened there. I think Olaf just tried to attempt to take out Useless under caution, but I can't say for sure that that's what happened. And I don't think a lot of these drivers realize that Art is pacing. No, and I think all the lap cars are already working their way past the pacing field, even though I don't think they were told to. So, caution number 4 here at Indianapolis. I am wondering if...
Yeah, pits closed.
Pits are closed. I am wondering if Neymar just hit a bump in the track, or if... I don't even know what caused her to flip. That is such a devastating flip. She had a decent lead over Useless, albeit Useless seemed to have more pace. I don't even know what caused her to flip. I don't know if there was a... Just like... Man, that's just unfortunate for Neymar. I mean, I know the part of the track she was on, drivers aren't supposed to be on, and I was gonna call her out for corner cutting. The lap cars can now unlap themselves, so admittedly, there aren't that many anymore because all of them have already unlapped themselves. Because all of them sort of did it before they were told to. But there goes Clone, and there goes... and then see Olaf. Pits, I imagine, will be open this time by... I think, maybe? I don't know. I'm still not used to how this sort of thing works. Would think I would be used to it by now, but nope. There was no word on if pits were open that time or not, but I have to assume they are because just about everyone has pitted. And I'll tell you what, that caution has really played into the hands of Pepper, who will probably be restarting this race in P2 from what I was just able to see. I mean, it wasn't that long before the caution as well. I think Anaz and Nathan have made contact in the pit lane, which have really slowed down both of their pit stops, and Daniel's just barely been able to jump Anaz out the pit lane. Why isn't Triff pacing? Yeah, I was about to say that. Triff isn't even, like, trying to pace. Triff is just going like it's green flag. Triff is still going, actually. I don't think that's Triff not realized that we're under caution. I mean, he slammed on the brakes now, locked up and hit the wall a bit as well. But now we're gonna have another lap of caution, which was really unnecessary, I think. Really unnecessary from Triff there. And oh god, here comes the rest of the field into the back of Pepper.
Meanwhile, looking at our timing board, we have Emperor setting our fastest lap of the race. I believe that is
Hardman. I don't think that lap will count because I believe that would have been done while in reverse.
Yeah, that is entirely possible. It is a 40.713 though. So if there's anything to
it is a possible lap, according to what we were seeing in practice. We are gonna go green this time by Triff will lead, followed by Pepper. And I mean, that caution has really played into Pepper's hands. I'm sure Neymar won't appreciate... I don't even think Triff is pacing anymore. Triff is accelerating a bit, but now he's back to pacing.
A little bit more of a legitimate lap, where's 40.8, and you may continue. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Who's the 40.8 by?
Pepper.
Oh, so Pepper at the moment looking to have the fastest lap point. We will go green once again at Indianapolis. And Eustace is already ahead of... Yeah, Eustace has already been told to concede. So Eustace gets caught jumping to start a bit. I was about to say he's already ahead of Triff. They're 5 wide for the lead and they're all gonna go up into the wall. Triff is sideways and into the access road. Into the front bumper of an ambulance. Neymar is back into the lead, I think. Oh, and John's gonna spin in front of the pack. I think there's gonna be a big wreck. And I think there has been. Yes, there has. A lot of cars involved. And then we're gonna have another caution. No one flips, but like, that was half of the pack involved. And Happy will lead. I believe there is a bit of a race back. Across the line, Happy will lead under caution. And Pepper's... Oh, Finesi's in the pits.
Race control seems displeased about this.
Now, has Finesi been forced into the pit lane? Or has he pit on his own accord? If he has
his own accord.
Well, that's against the rules because the caution just came out, and that we had a similar situation at the last race weekend. I don't remember who it was, but I do remember that there was a I don't even remember who it was, but the caution came out and someone pit directly after the caution came out to try and jump it. We see Clone, I think, off flying on his own. I think I need to untrack Clone because I think he's taking photos actually. Actually, Clone is in a car. Clone stopped on the track, actually.
I see you running into the back of Kimmy.
Clone is asking someone to do the trip command on him. Oh, I think Clone was stuck on the barrier. I think he still is, but he's going to be able to get back going just as the pack is passing him. No word on if the pits are open or not, but I imagine no one is pitting because they just pitted. Dilge being so it's Pepper and Kimmy contact Dilge as well, and John and Triff into the pits.
Like now, a bit of a late reaction time to try and.
Now I wonder, is Race Control going to say anything about Findsy? He pit as the caution came out. We saw a similar situation at Road America, I believe. Caution came out and someone went into the pits thinking they were allowed to. Art is now sideways through turn 1. But is Findsy gonna get told to go to the back of the pack, or was he forced into the pit lane? There's really no word from Race Control at all, which is really surprising. I mean, but for the moment, Findsy will hold on to his position, and they are 3 wide for P2 for some ungodly reason. I'm not even gonna lie, I almost let a F-bomb slip there, and that would have not been good for the sake of really everything to do with my reputation. And now Olaf and Habby have made contact. And I think Habby needs to speed up a little bit, just get ahead of Olaf. There he is. So Findsy will not get told to go to the back of the pack despite pitting as the caution came out. We are going to go green this time by, I imagine. And I have already lost count as to how many cautions we've had today. Though I am honestly not surprised that we've had a handful. And once again, we have another leader starting this race. This time it's a non-primary driver as well. Just a driver who's came in, managed to qualify for the Indy 500. Kimmy is sideways, and oh no, the pits will be open, so actually we're not going green this time by, and that's quite convenient because Kimmy just got punted into Hogwarts, and Pepper's into the pits as well as Pilot John. So Pepper, I was aware Pepper, well actually if the pits just open, then who are the 2 other people that just came into the pits earlier? Because if the pits just open, that would mean that the pits were closed. I know Triff was one of them, I'm not sure who the other was. But there was a second person who came into the pits with Triff earlier, last lap.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion with the pits, as long as it's not engineers running into the pit.
Okay. Okay, yeah, as long as there's not a French team hauling tail into the path of multiple photographers at the beginning. What is Pepper doing? Where is Pepper came from?
A good question. Now,
I think Pepper has obliged by the rules. He has gone down the pit access road. I'm unsure if he actually stopped in the pit lane or if he just drove through the pit lane. But now he's ceding all of the positions, so he stays out of the radar of Race Control. Apparently not hard to do if your name is Findsy, though. Anyways, we get ready to go green this time by with Habby leading Olaf in P2, Arden P3, and Arden P3, Nathan P4, and Neymar P5. I genuinely think Neymar has a shot at winning this. However, we'll have to wait and see because now a lot of drivers have a chance to win. Dilge, excuse me. And now we see Pilot John stopped at the side of the track. I would imagine typing out a bit of a complaint as we see the chat number in the top left increase by 1. Happy controls, we get ready to go green again here in Indianapolis. And here we go. It was a good restart all around.
Emmy is unfortunately being punted into the wall, having been twice now. Oh, and Triff as well. Into the pit wall.
We saw that just in the back. Triff basically nose first into the pit barrier. Contact between Anna's all the way to the back. And I've just realized something. I mean, Pepper sideways into the infield. Oh, and Pepper's stopped on the infield as well. I was about to say, I've just realized that Anna's only has to be basically like... Anna's could be the last place in this race and still have a shot at winning the championship, but now Pepper is going to be towards the back instead. In fact, Pepper has quite a sizable gap to really anyone. Habby has had a decent restart, followed by Nathan. Nathan has had a really good restart as well. He is up into P3. Anna's on to restart he would have wanted. He's in P12. Neymar slow through turn 1, not sure what that's all about. Quite a large pack forming now. Anna's is side by side with Daniel. We'll try and go We'll try and go on board with Anna's. Here we go. The current championship leader. Not the leader of this race, though. He's down the order. But he's in P6 now. More than enough to win the championship. Pepper's in P12. Anos could be P12 and still win the championship. Anos has to finish P14 or higher to win the championship this season. We're under a caution. And I would have to assume that it involves Findsy. Because he's slowed down the front stretch. And we see Arnold's take to the access road twice through turns 3 and 4, trying to overtake Daniel before they get to the line. But it's not going to happen. Daniel just barely edges out. And actually, Meaton stopped in turn 1. So actually, I think I might have found our culprit, if you would.
And we have a
oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! And Anos is reversing. Anos is still. I think Anos just tried to do a J turn and it has failed miserably. The little man plows into the back of Anos, sends him around. It hasn't hurt his race. It hasn't hurt his race any, but it is definitely not what you want to be doing. Yeah, I don't think a car plowing into the back of another car is quite helpful for aerodynamics.
Yeah. I know these ones are certainly sturdy and such, handling flips and just name it, and they've handled it, but it's still. I don't think it's ideal.
I don't think it's ideal to be rear-ended in such a fashion. It is interesting. In season 0, which was the first ever season Pummu Indycar series ever held, I believe we're about to see a bunch of people pit this time.
Likely so.
And as I was saying, I've gone onto the wrong camera. There we go, tower camera. Nice to see you back. And half the field's gonna pit and half the field isn't. Arnold's is one of the people that will pit. The Pepper is one of the people that don't pit. Newton will be our new leader for the restart. But as I was saying, season 0, oh my goodness, quite a cluster in the pit lane as well. On the wing, see who wins this battle out the pit lane. Little Man, I think, might be able to edge it out ahead of Habby, and he has. Neymar's edged out ahead of Anos as well. And now I need to find the onboard camera of Miaton. There it is. So.
Oh, and sorry. John just got sent into the wall at the back stretch.
As you do. As you do. But in Season 0, the first ever season of Pummu Indycar Series, back when I was still a driver, and back when I was still a driver, and for some reason on ET's team, it was very interesting. Those cars used to have damage, and you can imagine how laggy it got very quickly, especially at Texas, I think.
Yeah.
Miaton controls. The damage didn't really affect the car's performance, so it was just sort of a visual thing.
Performance of the driver's computers.
Yeah, basically. And they're already 3 wide for P2, but Miaton's gonna be gone on perfectly timed restart. Arnold's is into the pit barrier, probably for the 500th time at a restart.
I'll be taking the absolute inside line.
Oh, and Neymar's sideways into turn 2, I think. No, she's not. She's kept it clean. Pepper's up into P2. And that is scary for Miaton. Well, actually, Miaton is Pepper's teammate. My game freezes for the 500th time this recording session. Miaton and Pepper are teammates. So I imagine what's going to happen here is we're going to see these two try to work together to form a gap from the rest of the pack, and then Miaton will probably yield the position and let Pepper ahead.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Oh, and Miaton's into the wall! So maybe a little bit early to say that he'll yield the position. Miaton hit the wall fling, spins around.
We have the useless and Olaf to the side as well.
And I think Pepper's collected him as well. Pepper's slow into turn 2. That's going to put Pilot John right on his tail. Quite ironically, I love watching Pilot John battle for P2 after barely qualifying in Road America and then immediately retiring. What a good lad he was that race. Anyways, he's up into P2. Right on the tail of Pepper. And, I talked about a possibility of team orders, and, I imagine that Pepper and Miaton were going to swap positions, though I imagined that it would be in a different way, or in a different method, but, it was a very rapid swap, at least. Surely Miaton didn't lose too much time because of it.
Speaking of team orders and crashing, that, as long as we don't end up with a, is it Singapore? Crash gate?
Oh no. Oh no, and actually Daniel's down the inside of John. They both can make contact into the wall. That's gonna slow both of them down. Neymar behind, I think, might have also been in the wall if... that might have been Happy into the wall instead, actually. Sorry for the silence, I'm...
Finally being a hot topic for a little while during this race. Being the team, owner of Fine Team International Motorsports, conveniently named.
Of course.
Like he is. Seemed like during qualifying, he really wanted to push for the team to have the Constructors Championship in the bag. Unfortunately, I don't believe that they do at this point in the race.
Yes, well, while you were talking, Pepper continues to run away because John into the wall! Barely avoids the beginning of the pit barrier, but in swerving to avoid it, he's collected Kimmy. Neymar up into P2 while you were talking. Just Daniel and John not having the cleanest race, especially now John drew the access road. And now there is a bit of a battle for P2 as Neymar also takes to the SS road of turn 2. Oh, and Useless and Art, I think, have been together, because Useless is now stopped in turn 1. But he's been able to keep it going, or get it back going again. I would like if there wasn't a very loud, high-pitched beep every time I switch to a different car. But, oh well. Neymar holds on to P2, Daniel will hold on to P3, and Onod's crucially in P7, and more importantly above P14, I believe is the minimum position he needs to finish. Pepper doing everything in his power to win this race. He's ran really well, and now watching about 2 laps time, Pepper's engine just blows up or something. But I mean, Pepper has been really strong this entire weekend. He's been ready. He knows that he's gonna have to fight hard for the win of this race, and now he has a 4-second gap in the lead. But unfortunately, he does not have a bit of a, what would it be, about a 13-car gap to Onaz to win the championship. Neymar, I think, experiencing a bit of input lag. On the backstretch, she's been into the wall. She's been into the wall again, I should say, and Daniel's looking to overtake her. And Neymar wall rides into turn 4, so I think Neymar might be losing grip, actually. But Daniel into P2. I am quite curious to see. I am curious. Has the fastest lap changed any? I imagine not.
Let me just double check for you.
I was about to say Daniel is starting to catch up to Pepper, but Daniel's just been into the wall. But he's definitely catching up to Pepper, actually.
So the fastest lap has not changed. It is still 40.8 exactly by Pepper. Right behind him though, not very far. Actually within a thousandth of a second. Or seconds. Being Nathan at 40.804.
Well, I'm aware that Nathan has some assets to this channel, and I know you might want to be focusing on your driving, but would be quite unfortunate if fastest lap went to someone else. Daniel has just cut the corner and somehow still went into the outside wall. I'm messing with you, Nathan. Have fun on your race if you can even hear me above your engine. I don't even know if you can. I've just noticed that my OBS has not been happy this entire recording. But Pepper still leads. Daniel holds on to P2. There are many battles occurring in the midfield, including a battle between Happy and Onaz. Maybe, if we can find him, we'll go on board with this battle. And there we go on board with Onaz, who takes to the access road of turn 4, severely cuts the corner to try and get past Abby, but just doesn't have the speed to pull the move off. I mean, I wonder if Onaz realizes that he could relax right now and still win the championship, though. Admittedly, we're at Indianapolis, we're at the Indy 500, and we have seen just about everything happen. So, anything can happen, so maybe Onaz is wise in battling Happy quite hard for P5. DSA telling Clone that he is approaching a penalty if he keeps corner cutting. Both Happy and Onaz corner cut turn 1, quite severely, and I said and realized I had really nowhere to continue that train of thought. Habby has actually started gaining on us now, and he's actually gaining really quickly on Kimmy as well, going down the front stretch. And I imagine these two are about to start battling just ahead of Onas. Go on board with Habby. It was a couple laps ago battling Onas, now seems to be leaving Onas in the dust a little bit and looking to try and overtake Kimmy. Meanwhile, at the front, we see Pepper still in the lead by about 2 seconds, just ahead of Daniel and Neymar. He's in P3. Onas has caught right back up to Habby. The draft, not very noticeable, but very powerful. Olaf in the pits now. Interesting to see that. But a lap down, I believe. I mean, these barriers are like highlighters, mate. What in the world's going on there? Daniel and Neymar side by side up ahead, and Neymar's actually going to force Daniel into the grass. We'll just run on board with Kimmy. Oh, Daniel forces Neymar hard into the wall. They both go into the wall. That's going to slow both of them down. They were both... Oh my goodness. A lot of... I mean, that was... I don't even know who to blame for that one. Both of them... I mean, Neymar pushed Daniel into the infield, and then Neymar just kept him down there, and Daniel just did not turn into the corner and destroyed Neymar. And once again, a very... Once again... Oh, we're under a caution. And it's going to be for Findsy, I believe. And it is. Findsy, I think, flipped out of turn 4. Though he's back on his wheels now. And this, I imagine, is approaching the last restart. DSA asking the drivers for some feedback, which I imagine would have been useful, not now. And Kimmy has just absolutely rear-ended Pepper, and all of them have rear-ended each other. Again, I am shocked by... Again, I am kind of shocked that there was absolutely... Again, I'm kind of shocked that there was no word about any sort of incident between Daniel and Neymar. And again, they both sort of penalized themselves and went down the order. Lap cars can now overtake. And once again, under caution, I'm going to have to use the restroom, because the water that I am drinking is not staying in my body. And it's just how it is. Pits are not open this time, which is unfortunate, because I'm going to go onto tower camera anyways and aim directly at the pit lane. And I'm going to leave my good old friend War Sniper with the floor once again. Have fun with that.
So as said by race control, pits are not open this time around. Looking at Olaf being behind quite a bit here. Seems like he is catching up though, slowly but surely. And Findsy, I don't think he's having... Oh, he's bumping into the pit barrier. Pit wall. Okay. I will track just slowly taking turn 1. I believe this is what our 6th or 5th caution at this rate. Here we have Pepper being told to increase his speed. Apparently going a little bit too slow. goodness. And Pepper being told to slow once again here at the back straight. But yeah, it has been a interesting season thus far. Looking at the current
leaderboard, I believe it'd be safe to say that Anaz has. Oh no, sorry.
is pretty well in the bag for himself, but it is IndyCar. Anything can happen. Pits are going to be open this time around, so let's go ahead and see who is pitting and who will be staying out.
I'll tell you who's not staying out, and that's me. I am back. Neymar is staying out as well. Anna needs to be careful. It's driving right towards the pit barrier. Triff, Clone, and Olaf are...
Pepper and Onar coming in.
Oh boy. This will be interesting to see if who beats each other out of the pit lane. Pepper's in his pit stall quite cleanly. So is Anna's.
Abby might be blocking. Nope, we are...
Nope.
Pepper's good and he is gone.
Pepper.
And Onar will be falling behind.
Pepper is gone by quite a while. Oh, Kimmy's jumped him actually. Kimmy's been able to get past him in the pit lane. Wonderful job there.
That
So,
might be an unsafe release, but hey.
What's that? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. What's that?
Maybe not here, but in another universe, I would believe that would be considered an unsafe release.
Nah. So once again, Neymar leads at a restart. This is what her third time leading at a restart.
Sure, if I had a nickel for every time she's led on this race, I'd have probably 3, and it's not a lot. Quite convenient for her that it has happened that many times. So.
Neymar controls. We will be going green again. Clone in P2, and I think we're already going. Yes, we are. Quite an early start from Neymar. Clone was able to react quite quickly as well, was able to keep up with her, but just about everyone else behind wasn't exactly ready for such an early restart. And I mean, they're almost Anna's and Pepper both into the infield. Oh, and Pepper's around, I think. No, I've lost track of Pepper through the sea of usernames. But Pepper is able to keep going, but for a second we saw Pepper sideways.
This is not the restart finds he wants. He is all the way at the back of the pack. What unfortunate.
Yes, and actually Pepper has forced Daniel into the grass a bit as well, and that's going to send Kimmy into the wall. Kimmy into the wall, but he's going to be able to keep it going. And Oz is on the podium. Meanwhile, Pepper's down in about P5 if he's lucky. P6 according to the timing board. And I mean, we talked about how impressive it would be for a Neymar win. But I mean, Anna's from out of nowhere at that restart up into P2 as Clone goes into the wall. And now, I mean, he sets his sights on Neymar. I mean, wouldn't that be a way to win the championship? Win the Indy 500 and the championship all in the same thing. Wasn't the strongest qualifying from him. I was able to talk to Findsy about any insights on why Anna's performed so low in the qualifying, and Findsy's response was very simply, I don't think he really cared. Anna's takes the access road in turn 1, and heavily cuts turn 2, and if that's not a warning from race control, I don't know what is. And that corner cut was counterproductive as well. There's bumps on the infield, and that's put Daniel right on his outside. Now they're both cutting turn 3, and of course race control asked me to repeat what happened. Just some not so subtle corner cutting from Anna's in turn 1 and 2, but it was counterproductive because now Daniel's ahead of him into P2. So maybe Onos doesn't have his sights on the win here. He did for a moment, though now I imagine he'll want to try and be defensive and stop losing positions. Olaf, I think, was in the pit lane, so another pit stop for Olaf, but now he's behind Neymar. And I think there's a bit of contact between Daniel and Habby because they go everywhere. And Anna's into the wall and he's gonna lose a lot of speed. And Anna's, I think, just tried to cut turn 4, but Daniel was in the way. So, race control telling Daniel and Anna's that this will be their last warning. If they don't.
And Low Man into the pit barrier.
Aw, little man. Oh, and Pepper is caught right up to Anos, and he's easily gonna fly past him. He's gonna take the Assets Road, though admittedly Anos takes it as well. I don't think Pepper had to take to the Assets Road to get past him. Anos is still still losing time to Pepper just because of that contact in the wall, though finally able to recover. But Pepper will be up into P3, Daniel will be up into P2. And, Daniel spun! Oh, Daniel's flipped! Aw, I feel bad for... So Neymar will lead again. We are about 25 laps away from the end of the race now. There is no race back, so theoretically Neymar should be pacing. However, Neymar's actually hit the barrier. Neymar's wrecked under caution, and now Anas has wrecked into the back of Pepper. They need to both get back ahead of Habby here. And I think Neymar... Yeah, there goes Neymar. Oh, actually, Anas has stopped on side the track. I don't know what that was about. Lap cars can now unlap themselves. Admittedly, I think Olaf might be one of the only lapped cars. And he basically was under that caution in front of Neymar. Now we have a bit of chaos. As
close this time around.
Yeah, a bit of chaos under the contact between Anas! Contact between Anas and Pepper that sends Pepper into the pit barrier. But Pepper managed to keep it out of the pit lane and keep it going. And I mean, your two championship contenders are sitting right beside each other, which admittedly is a bad sign for one of them.
Yeah, really gotta wonder if it's gonna be NASCAR where they're trying to reach out the window and try and hit each other.
I've opened chat and the first thing I read was Clone begging Pepper to flip on us, which honestly would be pretty funny. However, I think that would be a disqualification, if not a very harsh penalty. I'm not even gonna try and shy away from the disqualification idea. I'm pretty sure that would just be an immediate just no. Habby is going somewhere. I don't know where Habby's going. Habby has decided. Habby has decided that he wants to pace faster than what Neymar's going.
I mean, no harm, no foul if you're not keeping that position, but I don't think it's advised, at least.
So the pits will, I imagine, be open this time by, and we are now under 25 laps to go. I think 23 laps to go is the number I'm looking for. 23 or 20, no, will be 23. Habby once again doing something weird. I really don't know what's going on here. Habby is trying to make the sponsors happy. But I imagine we are oh, Neymar, don't type while driving. I imagine we're about to see a couple of cars pit. Oh, I have not entered. I mean, this will basically be a lot of no, and I was incredibly oh no, there goes people. Little Man Clone, Nathan, Triff, and Pilot Sean. I don't think Clone or Little Man made the commitment line there, but I don't remember seeing anything about the commitment line, so I don't think it matters. Neymar will still lead.
Yeah.
And on the very next lap, we will be green. To be fair, I think Neymar has led this race almost as much as Pepper did at the beginning. I can tell my voice is already starting to go away.
A little bit of recovery from Fingy. Generally, Fingy Motorsports as a whole. Might be a good day for their championship in the constructors area. With Owen being in their team as well as Hughes Wilson, I believe I might be missing another one. I do apologize for that. Yeah, don't.
Green this time by.
So.
Neymar controls. Pepper and Anas, P2 and P3. Not what you would want if your name is Pepper, or a member of Sixth Gear Motorsports. Admittedly, though, I'm looking at the... I mean... The turnout versus, like, Sixth Gear Motorsports versus, like, Findsy International is not looking too good for Sixth Gear in holding the constructor's title as well. We're gonna go green this time by. And here we go. And Happy, I believe, has overtook Pepper and Anas before the line. So I wonder... Oh, and there's been more contact! Oh. There's always contact in that midfield pack. Oh, and Anas is up into the wall! Pepper up into P3.
Good.
Cologne has been told to concede.
Mietin off the track in turn 2.
What in the world has happened to Mietin? Mietin is in the infield. Findsy is into the inside wall. They are 4 wide for almost last place. Anas is severely cutting turn 3. So is Little Man and Pilot John. But it is the restart, so I think the chaos will get overlooked. Neymar still leads, followed by Happy and then Pepper in P3. Findsy. What has Findsy done, I wonder?
I spoke too soon about it. Maybe being a good day for them.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Imagine half of their team just gets murdered. Hana's up into... Oh, Neymar's slow. What has happened to Neymar? Neymar extremely slow down the... Shut the hell up. I'm not even gonna hold back on that. Just Neymar. Slow down the backstretch. Happy will take the lead. Pepper will be P2. And Anas is battling Cologne for P3. I'm gonna have to remember this timestamp to censor myself. So if you're watching this after I've edited it, probably, you know what I said. Use your imagination. Clone or Anas down the infield. Oh, and Clone hits the wall fling! Oh no! Into the wall fling, I think he's collected Daniel as well, so that'll put Neymar back into P4. But that will put Anas into P3 and into the assets road of turn 3 again. Well, we do the same in P4. Not nearly as severe, but he has been... but it was enough. It was enough to catch the attention of race control immediately. And I think Anas really needs to be careful. He does not need a penalty, especially if there's not going to be another caution. We are running out of laps, and I mean, I say he needs to be careful, and okay. Well, he's cut turn 2, but then he's just let everything go on his keyboard to counteract it and slammed into the wall in loud speed. And now Neymar is catching back up with him. So, I mean, way to penalize yourself, I guess. Pepper is catching back up with Happy. We will go on board with Pepper. Happy has made a mistake somewhere along the line. He's slowed down the front stretch. Pepper's looking for the inside. Happy's closing the door. And this battle for the lead is going to be given to Pepper. Oh, they both make contact. They both go into the wall. But Pepper will hold on to the lead. And that's Mietin and Yusuf going very slowly down the backstretch as well. Looks like they've been together. Oh my word. And if I can find him, I will go back on board with Phonos. There he is. There's the boy, our current championship leader. And so far, our champion so far. Useless slow through turn 1. He's just gonna let Pepper by. Probably a good move. Oh, and Anas goes very wide into turn 2, like he had no grip, actually. Oh, and Useless absolutely cuts turn 3. I know Useless is...
being collected by Miaten in the front straight. Oh, dear.
Oh, no, and... Oh, Triff is stopped on the front straight. Oh, no.
No.
Anna was able to get by. I think Happy might have had to take avoiding action. So technically our top... No, Happy definitely got collected. He's slow in turn 1. And he's hit the wall as well in turn 2. He's hit Anna's in turns 2 as well. Anna's just has to take the assets road. For once he corner cut, but not to his own accord. I mean, I opened the chat for a second. I saw Pepper asking DSA to make sure Useless didn't wreck him out, but it seems that Useless wrecked himself out into the side of another car. I mean, you would think that people wouldn't be hitting the pit wall here. I mean, a couple people hit the pit. Oh, and we're under caution. And I am gonna try and figure out as to why, and I don't really know. It is gonna be a race back, so Pepper still needs to keep it on throttle, and I think the caution is gonna be for Triff. Unsure what has happened, but he is slow down the back stretch. I've opened chat and Pepper is realizing Happy has just completely destroyed Anas in turn 1. These drivers just do not know how to slow down, huh?
Well, when you got...
Oh, and here comes Useless.
I mean, when you are the driver champion, effectively, I mean, I believe there's just a level of lack of care there as to how you race.
Oh yeah. It still needs to be careful. Lap cars can now unlap themselves as we see Clone go sideways for a second for some reason. I'm not sure how. Nathan is going very slow in the infield of turns 3. Unsure what happened to him. At one point we were talking about him battling for podium positions. Now it seems he's merging towards the back of the field. No, he's still stopped.
Is he out? Is he just done?
I'm unsure. I think Daniel has overtook Neymar, so I think they're trying to argue who is ahead of who. I didn't see if pits were closed or not. I don't think they're open because no one is pitting. And I mean... And Kimmy dives into the pits there. Towards the back, so if that message from race control was that pits are not open yet, then I imagine Kimmy might not like what's about to happen. So this is this is about to be really interesting. I don't actually know if the pits were open or closed. My game is frozen, but I'm back now. Triff is going and unlapping himself again. Triff being 2 laps down. Or probably more, I don't really know. Okay, so the pits are open this time, which means that Kimmy pit when the pits were closed. But as we saw earlier, apparently that doesn't matter, so we'll just move on. This is gonna be interesting to see who does and doesn't pit then, because, I mean, we have almost 10 laps to go, a little over 10 laps to go, and track position clearly means everything, unless it is a chaotic restart, which we have seen a few times, but track position a bit more of a priority over anything. So the pits are open. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to take that risk. Who is going to take that risk and see if they can make something work. I think Triff has just destroyed Meaton. and judging by that angry message from Race Control, I imagine I am correct. And, I mean, this is it, I think. This pit stop could really... Oh, and Pepper is sideways on the front stretch. I am unsure how that happened. But Pepper is not going to pit. Anna is not going to pit. Neymar and Happy don't pit. Daniel, Clone, Dilge, Useless, and Meaton don't pit. Nathan pits. Findsy pits. Olaf pits. Little Man and Art, Pilot John, and Kimmy all in the pits. And we'll see how this race out the pit lane goes.
Giving some good advice here.
Art and Findsy side by side. Oh my, I mean, Art and Findsy were basically side by side as they came out to pit lane. That's going to be interesting to see who they decide got the lead. And so we get ready to go green. Once again, as people are in the infield grass, and Kimmy, I think, is sideways, and Triff is stopped out of turns too, and I'm not really sure why that is.
10 more laps, I believe.
No, it would be 11, just above 10 laps to go, and I'm sure Pepper is basically begging that something horrific happens to Anaz at this restart. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, it's true. Kimmy and Triff still pretty slow. I would have thought that they would have caught up by now, but maybe they're voicing their opinions on whatever contact was made. I'm gonna drink some water while I still have time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get ready to go green. Here's very shortly.
And we are green here in Indianapolis once again.
Hopefully for the final time.
A chaotic race, and so far a pretty clean restart. Pepper.
Oh no, we have Kimmy spinning out at the back.
No, Kimmy.
Yeah, not again.
Oh, and Anna takes to the SS road again. So have Daniel and Neymar, but Daniel's clipped the inside wall and punted Neymar into the wall. So, I mean, was that a bit of karma? I did see a car sideways for a moment out of turn 2. Happy has managed to overtake Anna's on the restart. Meanwhile, they're almost 3 wide. 4P4, I believe. Pepper, really good restart. Now he's actually starting to run away with the lead now. We're going to have 10 laps to go here in Indianapolis across the line. And I think Arnold's might be starting to get swaddled up and swallowed. Oh, contact between Daniel and Arnold's as I was trying to figure out how to speak English. Jesus Christ. Arnold's will hold on to P2. P3. Daniel will suffer because of that contact. Pepper still leads. And hopefully those flashbacks from Road America for Pepper don't become reality, as he was mentioning earlier under caution. Happy, I think, has had a bad turn too, because both Clone and Anaz are catching up to him quite rapidly, and as they go into turns 4, it's going to be Clone right on the tail of Happy, and Anaz into the wall a little bit. He, I think, is going to get caught up by Pilot John, and there we see a little bit of input lag, puts him into the wall as well.
Towards the midfield, we have a lot of cars grouping up together. Findsy overtaking Useless. We have him, Findsy now taking over Low Man, as well as Nathan. He's taking a hard inside line. I don't know if that'll probably be a corner cut, but I don't know if that'll be officiated or penalized.
We'll have to wait and see. Happy, I think, is starting to catch up to Pepper. Pepper has had a bad corner somewhere along the line. Because now he has Happy within at least 2 seconds of him. Laps are winding down, and we haven't really had a big battle for the lead so far this entire race, but now we look as Happy begins to catch up to Pepper just a bit. Pilot John is up into P4. Clone getting told to keep it above the white line. So, a couple of drivers, I think. A couple of drivers under the spotlight of race control here. Excuse me. I think Pepper has the pace. I think Pepper has the pace to keep ahead of Happy, but I think Happy has draft.
Daniel is really taking the inside line. Oh, and that almost caused him to be hit maneuvered by Neymar.
And Onos.
Oh dear.
Onos has been into the inside wall down the front stretch. Now Pepper and Happy being told to keep it above the white line. Onos should probably be expecting the same warning after corner cutting turn 2 just now. But I mean, there we see Pepper and Happy doing everything they can to try and keep up. And now Meaton is right beside Onos. And I wonder if we'll see any shenanigans. Actually, no, Meaton's slowing down. He might be pitting, but he's really slow. Finds he absolutely destroys turn 4. And by that, I mean he's corner cutted by a large margin. A lot of these drivers seeming to take the access roads more than they're actually taking the track in these corners. And now Pilot John under scrutineering. Happy's still just within 2 seconds of Pepper, and now Anna's going into the grass to try and overtake John. Pilot John, I should say. Pilot John, I mean, quite a decent qualifying from him, able to get into the fast line. We haven't heard much of him this entire race, but now here he is, just outside of the podium positions. And now Useless and Pepper are battling, which is not something you want to hear when Useless is a lap car. But I think he has let Pepper go, but unfortunately not in time, because Happy is right on the tail. Right on the tail of Pepper now. Pepper just unable to get past Useless, and now Happy is right on his tail. And ironically, Happy has also let Useless pass, or Useless has also let Happy pass him. So, a little bit of tomfoolery going on at the front, but unfortunately for Pepper, I don't think it's going to matter in the championship at least. Because Onos is well... Oh, we're under caution! And it's going to be... Well, I was about to say it might be for Useless, and it might be actually still be for Useless, because he's crashed head-on into the freaking ambulance. And are we going to have enough time or enough laps to finish this race? We might have an overtime. I know overtime...
Happy off the track, unfortunately.
Oh, Happy. So Pepper leads, Clone will have P2, Onos will have P3. Pepper should be starting to pace now. Yeah, there we go.
Pepper is possibly displeased that we are on last 2 laps with the caution.
Oh.
Pepper's still voicing his opinions, and I don't think Pepper is very happy that they're gonna stop on the backstretch as well. Race control is saying that they might have to add some overtime laps just for the interest of avoiding a Australian GP 2023. Anyways, Pepper leads on this restart, and they're going 4 wide. Race control is telling them to be normal on the restart, and they are 3 wide. I'm not even joking. They are 3 wide, and they're 3 wide for 2 rows. for some reason. Cologne will have P2, Arnold's will have P3. However, I think there's a bit of disagreement, and I think DSA has waited too long to tell them to stop, because now they're all just gonna bunch together.
Ah, goodness gracious.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we are with the best of the best drivers.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Race control admitting he has no idea why John is in third place at the moment. And I was about to ask the same. Finds he goes to overtake John, but then Anas shoves his way into that, and now finds he's forcing Anas out of the way, actually. Some of y'all are just horrific driver. So true. I think they need to all back up behind Clone and just figure it out from here. However, they think that... However, I think the drivers think that they just want to be in whatever positions they can get in. I'm unsure of how Findsy is ahead of Nathan here on the timing board. It says it's quite the... Oh, actually, they have the exact same delta, so... I mean, look at that. Look at the gap between Nathan and Findsy on the timing board. The pits are not going to open this time by, so we are technically going to have a green-white checker without any of the extra added laps. And to explain what that is, because I don't know what it is, but essentially, green flag, but like 2 laps to go. So we're gonna have 2 laps to go across the line here in Indianapolis, and I assure you that if things were bad earlier, it is only going to get much worse here. Pepper controls the field. And if Pepper wants any chance of winning the championship, he needs to hope that Anas just dies during this restart. They're 4 wide. I'm not even exaggerating. They are already 4 wide.
Oh dear.
They're 4 wide, but Pepper still leads.
Oh no.
We are two laps to go here at Indy, and I think Anas is down the inside. Oh, Clone into the outside wall. Anna's into the infield on the access road. Pepper's going to make contact with him. I think these two are going to be battling for the lead here in a moment. No, Pepper got a better turn 4 because of the contact. And Anna's going to get spun around by Nathan, I think. They've both made contact. That's going to put Anna's down to order. And Pepper will hold the lead by at least 2 seconds. Neymar and Daniel getting called out by race control for bad driving. We are white flag in the air here in Indianapolis. And I hope for the final time that this is the final lap and we can just all go home and have a good night's rest after this. However, I don't think it's going to happen. Pepper especially might be tossing and turning in his bed, as Anas, who was involved in some contact, is now up to P6. Pepper pretty dominant throughout this race weekend. Fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, wasn't fastest in the Fast 9. Findsy and Anas are going to go side by side. Pepper is going to come across the line here in a moment and win the Indianapolis 500. Happy will be P2, and John will be P3, Nathan will be P4, Anas will be P5, and will be your champion for this year of the Pummu Indycar Series. And there we see the rest of the cars going through the pack, and Anas, your champion. If I can find its camera, we'll go on board with your now reigning champion for this year. Meanwhile, between Nathan and Findsy, they're both 6 and 7th. It'll be interesting to see who has more points there to win P3 in the championship. And Anas, I mean, I think race control has said it best. Anas, your champion, doing a victory lap. Admittedly, a very good battle, but unfortunately for Pepper, just unfortunately for Pepper, things just not gonna go his way. I opened the chat and the first thing I see is, wow, Trainwreck didn't win? And actually now, Useless is getting assassinated by or Pepper's getting assassinated by Useless. And has our championship leader left? He has, so won the championship and leaves. I mean, there is a podium, so I imagine yeah, I was about to say, I imagine we'll eventually see Pepper go towards the pits. So Anas will be your champion for this season, but Pepper will be your winner here in Indianapolis. And there I am, quite well. I have some quite good attire. I don't think Pepper can get out of his car. I'll Pepper up here. But there he is, your winner of the Indy 500. Wonderful work from Pepper to win this race, quite dominant as well. Pepper saying he won for the milk, which is in that little crate over there. Trying to use, I already had some, okay, my bad. Trying to help him get access to the milk, but unfortunately I think both of those are anchored, which they're not supposed to be, so I don't think Pepper will get his trophy, or his milk. So Pepper wins in the Indianapolis 500. For a moment I did think that Neymar had a shot at the win, but I mean, unfortunately for her, anything happens, especially with that many laps to go. And we'll see her probably a little lower down the order than what she imagined. Well, I mean, still, that is a good performance from Pepper, even without the championship. Very dominant performance here. He did everything he needed to do. He did absolutely everything he needed to do to win this championship. It just, unfortunately, not enough to win at all. It would be nice. I don't know what I was about to say there. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to see any of the trophy or anything for Pepper because the guy who made this track anchored all of the blocks and therefore you can't edit any of them, I don't think. Unless I'm wrong. And however, oh no, I am incorrect now. So there you go, there's your trophy. And there's your check. Pepper asking if there's going to be an interview. I'm going to be honest, I'm just here. DSA has ordered him to drink his milk, which is really weird that that's the decision of, or the drink of choice. But, you know, whatever.
Sure hope he ain't lactose intolerant.
Pepper says that the milk is very good.
It's really a winner's milk, I guess.
Pilot John, please don't ask me to interview the top 3. We saw how it went earlier. I realize Pepper doesn't have a mic and he's typing in chat anyway, so I might as well. So Pepper, congratulations on your win in the Indy 500 here in Indianapolis, but I imagine it's a little bit of a sour taste. You did a... Oh, you have a... Well, do you want to use your microphone? I've never... Sorry, that was a little rude of me. I've never seen. Do you? I'm asking you, man. Oh, Olaf has stolen your milk. I think we need security. I think we need security on the podium. Olaf has stolen the milk. Please don't sword. You will kill me. The milk will disappear. Oh man, you killed Pepper! No! No! Indianapolis 500 winner and championship contender assassinated. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that out. No!
I am taking a championship. No.
Moore, could you write down a timestamp for me, please? 2 hours 35. Oh my god, it's 2 hours and 35 minutes. No one's gonna watch this freaking. I'm sure some of you have lost a will to live after this. Honestly, I'm done. I'm gonna go into heaven over here. I must ask DSA, why is there... Oh wait, I already asked why there's a random lawn chair on the roof of the biggest tower building in this entire track.
And Pepper is now large.
Huh?
We have a big Pepper now.
Oh no. Oh. Car has gone flying. I've done nothing at all with my admin commands. I'm just not gonna do interviews because I'm a bad interviewer and I feel like all of my questions would make people very sad. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Yeah, it's been a very interesting season. Thank you, of course, to my good friend War, who's stuck along with me for at least half of the season. I don't remember what else.
For a couple of races, yeah.
It has been a very entertaining season. We saw injuries, we saw rain, we saw we've seen explosive devices.
Nuclear bombs.
Oh, and we've seen me getting respawned in the air repeatedly. But yeah, and we've seen a couple of new things. We've seen many entertaining moments throughout the season, and well, that's about it, really. Thank you all for watching.
103 laps down.
Yep, he's having a godly race, I think. 153 laps down. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you are even sane at this point of the videos, I mean, I realize we are 2 hours and almost 40 minutes in, so I'll get this wrapped up. But thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next season for more action here in the Pummu Indycar series. And this is Finnical, signing off.